Good evening, all. We have Grandmaster Koneru Humpy here for a brief media interaction. She's open to answer media questions. Kindly, media people, keep the questions short. And yeah.
Hello, Koneru. This is Basil for the Go On Everyday. My question to you is at the ongoing FIDE World Cup, we have had a woman player, Divya Deshmukh, participate. Uh, how important is it to you that a woman be invited or play in open tournaments?
Uh, I have always mentioned that young girls need to participate in the men's circuit so that they could gain the experience, and also they'll get the opportunity to improve on their rating and to learn more skills from the strongest players. I have done myself the same thing when I was a youngster. Like I used to play a lot of open tournaments, and also in the men national championships. I also took part in the age group national championships as well in the boys section. So I think today people are very well aware that women should also need to take part in the open so that they could get that exposure. And the present generation, the youngsters are quite smart enough that they utilize the opportunities whenever they can. And I have been following many of them who are taking part in the opens, and they are improving their middle game and end game skills as well.
Can you talk about your feelings coming here? Did you specifically come for this particular opening move function?
I'm very happy and glad to be here because I haven't played any tournament of the Women's World Cup, and after a break of 3 months, today I got an opportunity to meet all the chess players and my friends. And it's a great honor to inaugurate the move in the FIDE World Cup. So I would like to thank the All India Chess Federation and FIDE for inviting me. Today we have 2 Indian players playing, Arjun and Harikrishna, and I really wish that they'll go much more further, and I'm rooting for them.
Hi, Humpy.
Hi.
As you said, you had taken a bit of a break after the World Cup. So your next event is going to be the Global Chess League, I believe, in Bombay next month. And how are you looking forward to that? And after that, you will be defending your World Rapid title. So how do you look forward to those 2 tournaments?
Global Chess League is one of those events where every player would love to play. Like it has always different formats and different kind of energy. Last year they had created a new time control without the increment, and it had a lot of impact on the results. So every year they have been innovative, and this year we had a very strong team, and Harikrishna is our captain for the Mumbai Masters. So I'm definitely sure that we'll be able to give our best in this coming season. And coming to the World Rapid and Bleach, well, I'm really not thinking about the title. So I just wanted to enjoy the format and play my best. Nowadays, I believe that rather than chasing for the titles, it's more important to give your best. If it comes, then probably you'll take that certain risk when needed towards the end of the event. But I'm not a kind of player to keep a target from the start of the tournament.
And have your thoughts on the way the tournaments like the World Cup being held in India? How do you think that can give a further boost to the game in the country? Maybe to make it more popular, more mainstream?
We had a World Cup held in 2002 as well in Hyderabad, Ramoji Film City, and that was my first World Cup. I still remember when we play such tournaments, that too in a home country, we see a lot of crowd coming, and the enthusiasm in the kids will grow more towards the sport. I think this is one of a such event where people will get attracted to the sport and they'll have that passion to learn. So having it in India is for players, it's both. Like it's advantage of having home food and good weather conditions which they are used to. But at the same time, it's also a pressure for them to have so much crowd and so much media attention. Yeah, it's not easy for a player when you're playing. You need to be very well balanced to concentrate on the sport and not to get distracted with other things. But apart from that, I think this is one of the best choices as far as the venue is concerned, because we have seen players growing up from southern part of India. Like Tamil Nadu is the hub for chess in India now. We have grandmasters from Andhra, like we have many players from Maharashtra. So Goa is the place where we have seen very few players coming up in the national and international levels. I think this region will be uh, having a great opportunity to witness these all top players, so that they could also come up into the sport as a professionals.
Humpy, the venue for the next candidates has been announced. It's in Cyprus. What do you think about the field in the women's candidates, and what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's getting tougher year by year. Now we already have 3 Indians in the out of 8, and one more spot is yet to be decided after the World Rapid and Bleach, depending on the leaderboard. Apart from that, I see like players are getting very well prepared. Like women chess is also becoming more and more professional, hiring professional seconds and grandmasters, building up a team. So thanks to FIDE for bringing up these Grand Prix series, which has started way back in 2009. So from then to now, I think the professionalism in the women's chess has improved a lot, and the financial conditions for the players have improved. But I believe in the future we'll be also neck to neck with the men in competing for the prize fund and for competing for the best places. That's what we see in cricket now, right? Like women cricket, when it started off, there was nothing. Like people were even criticizing them. But today they have won the World Cup and people started appreciating and they're getting the recognition. I think it's the same way the women's chess is also growing slowly. And of course, Cyprus, there were 2 Grand Prix held before in Cyprus. I was supposed to play in one of the Grand Prix quite earlier, but somehow because of the pandemic or something, I couldn't manage to play, or it didn't happen at the right time as per the schedules. So this is the first time I'm going to travel to the country, and I'm also quite excited because of the venue, and I'm looking forward for a great tournament.
Humpy, this is Mark from ChessBase India. I'm sure you're following the World Cup as it's going on, and as it happens, there are only 2 Indian players remaining, both Telugu boys. There's Hare Krishna, there's Arjun. Your thoughts on how the tournament has went, any predictions?
Knockout is very hard to predict. It's quite tough for the top seeded players, because most of the time I have seen them getting eliminated quite early, and this format is so tricky that the youngsters will always have that advantage, because you need to have lots of energy and you have to convert quite fast from classical to rapid and rapid to bleach within a shorter span of time. So these all factors actually benefit them. And I'm very happy that both Harry and Arjun are, still in the field, and I'm really hoping today they'll make it to the next round. So being a Telugu speaking people, I feel proud. And me and Hari, both have started at the same time, and we have known each other for such a long period. And he has been also working as a second, and he has been into many things. So again, being successful as a player, I think it's a great thing, and it's inspiration to many players as well.
Hi ma'am, I'm on this side. I have one question related to your career. So for example, you have taken multiple breaks in your career. Yeah, so I have 2 questions. First is how do you prepare after that break? And second question is, how do you balance your personal life and chess? It's more like, for example, if a guy doing 2 jobs, for example, and also many players who give up on chess just because of their jobs and studies. and you're doing the same thing. If you see in a different way, you are doing a job at the same time you're balancing your personal life. So can you put some light on these? Thank you.
You have the answer in your question. Like the break itself is my personal time. So I take the break so that I could spend a quality of time with my daughter and my husband. So before the World Cup, I have already mentioned it before. Like I played a couple of tournaments in a row. So after that, I decided to take this 3 months break so that so my daughter wouldn't feel that like mom is leaving every time for the tournament. Even when I started off here, just today morning she called me and she was just confirming whether I'm getting back to home tomorrow or not. So that's how it is to be a mother. But yes, thankfully I have a support system. Like I have my parents to look after my daughter. So that really helps me a lot to travel around for the tournaments. Well, it's also difficult as a player when I take a long break and to come back in a tournament. It's actually a tough. But I make sure before the tournament, at least around 20 days to 1 month, I make sure to have a regular routine of practice so that I don't lose the touch with the sport. I try myself in solving puzzles and playing a lot of online games, to get to that mindset. Of course, sometimes as a player you might be successful, sometimes you may not, but it's all part of the sports person's career.
Yeah, Humpy, you just mentioned how tricky the format is when you have to switch between classical to rapid flips. So, I mean, when you are playing the World Cup, how did you do it? Is there a mindset shift which has to come in, or how did you tackle this problem?
In fact, I didn't expect to reach the finals. I was mentally prepared for every round that, okay, I might get eliminated, it might happen because I have played so many knockouts. There are times when I got eliminated in round 2, and there are times when I played 3 or 4 semi-finals and I lost it. So the only thing I told myself was to give the best whatever I could on that particular day. But of course, as a player, I do have certain limitations, and energy also matters a lot in this format. Going towards the end, after playing especially the semi-final tie breaks with Lee Young Lee, I also lost a lot of energy. And if you're playing a Swiss tournament, you could just stick on to your own preparations. Like you don't need to spend so much on changing the opening report for just one particular game. But here, when you have a different opponent, you are forced to look at different things. Like you have to spend quality of time preparing so many new ideas and other stuff. So that actually makes you lose the energy. I think that's why I felt like this format is more suitable for youngsters, because they definitely, people might think it's a indoor sport. How does the energy matter so much like the outdoor ones? But at the end of the day, your brain needs a rest, and you have to be fresh enough to play practically over the board. Especially in rapid and bleach formats, those small things matters a lot depending on how energetic you are.
Hi, Humpy. I'm Manish. My question was, if you had the power to bring back one player in this event, who would it be?
Only one?
Yeah. Maybe two also, you can tell.
Yeah, if it's two, I would like to bring back Ian Epoinchi and Gukesh.
Thank you so much.
Couple of questions are you playing any classical tournaments before Cyprus, and how much time did it take for you to recover from the final loss against Divya?
Well, I'm not sure about the classical event after the World Rapid and Bleach, because I haven't seen any official events getting confirmed before March. So mostly I might play directly the candidates. Well, coming to the loss, yes, it's a painful, like any other person. When you lose the world title, it's a bit disappointing. I think maybe for a week or so, it took me time to come back. But once I'm back to home and once I start spending with my daughter, I don't mix up my professional and personal life. Like once I'm home, like chess doesn't come too much into my personal space.
Thank you.
Humpy, you have spoken about the growth of women's chess in the country. How do you see has the reach has been far enough for women in the country to consider it as a full-time profession?
Well, I think only if you are in the top 10 of the women world rankings, I would consider they could be they are, sustainable to be a professionals. But rest of them, yeah, still it's not at so comfortable. But it's much better than the previous generation. That's what I can say. Well, if you talk about the financial conditions, you can't compare it. I don't think most of the players are just playing for the money or something. It's also out of passion. Because probably if we are putting the same amount of energy in any other sport like cricket, or if you look at some tennis or some other sports, you'll be earning much, much more higher. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Well, have you were making a reference to the Women's Cricket World Cup. Did you watch a bit of cricket, the World Cup?
No, not at all. I'm not a cricket fan at all.
But as you said, that showed how a sport in women, can bridge that gap. As you said, maybe chess. What is actually, keeping Indian women chess back compared to men? We don't have that many top players in world ranking.
Maybe they are lacking the kind of support they needed. And support in the sense it's not just about the finance, but also like having a proper coaching, guiding them to get the right kind of trainers. Because men for boys it's very easy for them to travel or to gather in one place and start working. But for girls, like we have that hesitation from the parents also to send the girl individually or to send to some new place. So these kind of hurdles are always there in the society. Unless we have a proper training system, unless we have a professional coach who takes care of the players depending on their style, I think it's difficult to get a group of players always coming up. Till now, I believe it's most of an individual effort of the players, either with the support of their family or whatever interest they had towards the game. That's how they have built up their career.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.